Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the DayZ Standalone video blog, the first of its kind actually, and I'm Rocket, the project lead on DayZ, and with me I have my production assistant Matt Lightfoot. Matt, you want to tell us why I've given up, well, why both of us have given up our Monday nights?
Well, hello there. So we're going to be showing you quite a few exciting things today. We've got some of the major improvements to the maps. We've got the swamps, which we mentioned in the latest developer blog. We've got an expanded military base that we've got in there, and then we've also got a new island as well that you'll be able to see a bit later. We've also got the basic implementation of our clothing system, which you'll be able to see, and you'll also be able to see our new method of spawning loot in buildings, which will be very exciting. So, Rocket, what's the screen we're looking at now?
Well, this is a good example of some of the stylistic and functional changes we've made to the UI. The whole aim is to be going with a much more simplified approach than with previous products like Arma 2 that DayZ the mod was based on. A good example is configuring the options and things like that. It's much simpler, and we really want it to for users to go into things much easier, and for it to cope well with different sizes of screens and and different ways that people want to configure it. And there's a couple of little errors popping up there, so I hope people do appreciate. This is a very work in progress, super duper early version of DayZ, so there will be a lot of little errors and stuff as we go through.
So, Rocket, that character in the background, what's he wearing? Is that your normal going out gear?
Essentially what we're looking at here is the player's avatar. So he's their character from the last server they were playing on. So the real focus with DayZ Standalone has been to make the player's character much more a part of their gameplay. And so right from when you first start up DayZ, you're going to see the last character you've played. You're going to see the stuff he's had on him. We've been thinking about adding in some statistics and stuff on the screen as well, but for the moment we really want to stick with the real basics. So you'll see your character, male, female, whatever race you are, and what the equipment you have on when you come to this screen. And that's really a theme that is going to permeate throughout the product.
So should we jump into game then?
We should. So the idea here that we've got at the moment is that you can obviously change the server you're playing on, open up a server browser, or you can click play and go into the last server you're on. So I'm going to go into the change server here, and then I'm going to hide all of them and their technology, which has been really useful in what we're developing. Again, before we start playing, I want to add in the caveat that there will be potentially a lot of bugs and a lot of stuff that comes out in this, and people shouldn't expect that anything that's currently in there is going to be the way that it stays. So that's Matt walking around, and it's me on the camera. How you doing, Matt? I think you can wave, man. Did I wave? I can't even remember the wave key.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I can't remember. Okay, total video blog failure. I can't remember the wave key. So what Matt's going to do is he's going to show the clothing stuff. So, Matt, if you maybe take your clothes off over here.
Wow.
I'll zoom in here. So just before we start as well, so that everybody realizes that we're playing a version of DayZ that has a lot of stuff disabled on it, because we really just want to focus on the key parts. We want to keep some surprises, and there is still a lot of stuff that hasn't been finished. So what we're going to do here is we're really just going to demonstrate the clothing stuff. So what Matt's doing here is he's going to put on some clothes. So if you just hold there for a second, Matt, stand up and maybe give us like a little twirl or something. So what Matt's done is he's put on a lovely red hoodie. What a beautiful item. So the idea is that there's many different slots of different clothing that you can put on, like hat and eyewear, face mask, hoodie. So Matt's put on a hat there, and maybe he'll put on some pants at some point.
But I don't want to.
As well, it's important people note, so on the ground at the moment, we don't have the on-ground version of the items, but that's coming out. So you won't see these like perfectly filled out pants sitting on the ground. They'll actually be proper pants. So I'll just get down and be like real cinematic here with it. Give me your best like model pose. Yeah, check that out. So yeah, give us a little twirl maybe. Nice. So one of our artists we've got working on this, Painterflex, has been working on these clothing items. We've got a huge list. There's like, already on my list, there's like 100 different stuff we want to put in. So, we're going to have different variants of watches and different types of compasses and gas masks and what else? Have I missed anything else cool that's in there, Matt?
Aviator glasses, of course.
Yeah, true. Like different kinds of glasses and stuff. But I really want to focus on functional type items first. So I guess one thing that a lot of people probably don't think this is that cool, but this is a very big deal for the real virtuality system. It kind of has nothing like that really. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Did we have another top somewhere?
Yeah. Should we spawn in some different coloured hoodies
do you actually
so we're
know how to
not
do that?
wearing matching clothing?
Does it matter if I do that in the video blog? I don't think it does. Okay, so I've put the jacket on the ground for Matt, and he can go and he can swap that. So he's put his other top down, and he's putting that one on. Awesome. Another thing I guess that will show people, or maybe tell people later on as well, is each clothing item can actually have space for you to put different items in. So I think at the moment we've got it defaulted to you can fit like 6 small items in your jeans and stuff like that. Cool, so I guess put the tactical vest on, show people how that works as well. So the idea with this is that we're going to be able to do things like body armor, stab vests, as well as more like space-oriented items like this one, as well as, I probably should have put a backpack in as well, stuff like that. So there's all that usual stuff that you've got. But I think that's probably enough for us for clothing.
Should we jump on some of the improvements with the map?
Sure, let's do that. And here we are with the swamp. Yeah, so maybe you want to give us a bit of a background on this before I kick into technical mumbo jumbo, Matt.
So really, this was one of the ideas of Ivan. He wrote to us when he was in prison in Greece, and he wanted to include some areas that we really hadn't experienced before with Chernarus. And he thought that a swamp would be a great way to kind of mix it up a bit and add in a new, different type of playstyle.
Yeah, so this making Chernarus really fit the whole DayZ thing has been obviously quite a key focus for us, and definitely having that in the map design is really something we wanted to have a lot more of. So there's a lot of these areas, and we've got huge plans. There's a lot of new areas, new facilities and stuff to come across that we've really wanted to put in. So this is kind of just the start for us, and it's one of the exciting things that we're able to do with the project. It's not just to add features, but also to add add new areas and whole new areas of content as well. So I don't really want to say too much about this because it's still very much a work in progress. This is the first day we actually have it, but we've added Utes, which is one of the smaller islands, or Utes, I don't even know how it's pronounced. The smaller island that shipped with Arma 2, we've actually added it to the world, which was a request that came from 4chan. Am I even allowed to say that word on a video blog? I'm not sure I am. But so thank you 4chan. It was a good suggestion, and one I don't know why we didn't think of before. So yeah, so here it is, working in there, and just off the coast of this other small island here. So we think it's going to add, it's a little bit of extra territory in there. So we thought, why not? How can I even introduce this? Maybe I should just include this bit. Okay, I will. I think I will. Okay, this is the loot spawning mechanic. Very basic idea of it. Essentially what I've done is I placed some loot spawners specifically just for the little cans of beans that everyone who's played DayZ, the mod, will be very used to. One of the problems that we had in the mod was you'd just go around and you'd find these little piles of loot, and you'd run into the building and see if there was a pile of loot. And if you didn't see any piles, you very quickly move on to the other building. So I wanted to get completely away from that and really make it feel like you were scavenging the environment. So we'll head inside this building, and hopefully it gives a good idea of what I mean. So the idea is that loot can spawn like behind an object, like you see this can here. So you really have to get quite dynamic about looking around and trying to find the items. So it's really it's a totally different totally different experience. So I'll grab that because I really like my beans. So yeah, so the idea is that when you're going into these buildings, you're really going to have to scavenge and find stuff located and really difficult to find places. And someone might have come through and cleaned out most of a place, but might have missed, something that spawned, say, behind the TV or something like that. So I really think it's going to add a lot to the dynamic of.
And it really shows how it pays to be thorough. If you go through every building and search in every nook and cranny, you can find that extra can of beans or the fire axe that somebody else has missed, that may be hidden under a bed or, in a fridge or something like that. And it just makes you be patient and really check everywhere out.
Yeah, I think it's really going to radically change the whole way that DayZ is played. I think people will, it is going to have a big effect on things. I haven't actually configured this building yet, but you can see we've opened up some of the cupboards so that stuff can be put inside there. People are probably also noticing we've improved the way the things move and stuff like that. But having items underneath chairs and around tables, I think it's really going to add we can even put it inside basins and stuff like that. So it's really going to have that feel like you're actually scavenging an environment rather than you're just sort of running from building to building and yeah, another example of shelving we can spawn items on, and there's some really good work going in with some of the building details to make it look a little bit less polished and a little bit more like some kind of bad stuff went down in the building.
A bloody piano. So as you can see, we've gone upstairs, we've got the offices, we've got the shelving, we've got the open cupboards and things. So how is loot going to appear in the world then?
Basically, the way that the loot worked previously in the mod is it was spawned by the clients, and that obviously allowed for a great deal of hacking. It also meant that we had to do a lot of calculation to figure out whether or not a building required respawning or anything like that. The idea is that we're actually going to spawn all the loot on the server, and so when loot spawns, it'll spawn at the start of the mission, and as it gets cleaned out, the server can respawn it as needed. So that has some real fundamental impact for us in terms of performance, as well as helping us with anti-hacking measures, and as well from a gameplay perspective. For example, at the moment, you can tell whether or not someone's in a city by seeing if there's any live zombies walking around. If there's not, then there's probably not someone in.
So what are the kinds of changes that should we expect to see with the map?
One thing we have done is we've actually added a whole bunch of new rig types and stuff like that. So there's one actually here. One of the aims was to make them obviously a bit different and add a bit of variety, because there's a heck of a lot of different rigs in the environment. But also this is a good example actually up here, is add in the ability for us to spawn loot and make it so that you really actually have to, you're scavenging the vehicle and you're looking inside it for food and stuff like that. So there's been a lot of work that's gone into.
So, zombies in the server. This is the first time we've actually seen them in video. Would you like to explain a bit about them?
Sure. Well, these are our placeholder zombies, so we're waiting for our new skeleton to come through that we're putting the new animations on. So most people recognize the animations from the mod here. The exciting thing about this is it's showing large-scale numbers of zombies. This is just around one of the towns. The idea is that all the zombies now spawn centrally on the server. And this provides us really interesting amounts of control. It allows us to do like wandering hordes, to have the zombies not appearing in front of people and really control the way they spawn. So it's really quite a huge leap for us. At the moment, we're spawning in about 3,000 zombies, but I expect this number to increase quite dramatically as we go forward in development.
So what kind of performance impact do you think that these kind of zombies will have on the server? 3,000 more seems an awful lot.
Yeah, the FPS hasn't been too bad, so we're pretty happy with them so far.
So, what are we seeing now? This interior of the building.
Well, yeah. So you can see we've been doing a lot more work on making sure it looks more rugged. We've been placing loot spawns, particularly in hard to reach places. You can see some blood decals there. This is I took some screenshots of this one earlier, but it just shows some more development with some blood around where the table is there, and you can see inside this building more of the same. So there's a lot of work being done at the moment. Obviously, you're just seeing beans here, but there's all sorts of loot spawns that we've got placed in.
So this means that people are really going to have to search for them then?
Yeah, they are. So it comes out later on in the video when we show the detail inside vehicles, but the detail and the level, you can see all the shelving units here which we're placing spawns on, and even the roofs of building are getting a texture and decal pass to make them look better. And you can see inside here in the hospital with various barricades and stuff like that. So there's a lot of exciting stuff coming for the interiors.
So what we're going to show you next is some captured footage from a testing session with some of the subreddit mods and some of the DayZ forum mods. They've got access to it now and they're testing constantly, but here's just some footage that we recorded earlier.
Right, okay, I'm recording. Why do you guys all have green, pants? Are you guys, friends or something?
They're stylish this year.
Apparently. Nice motorbike helmet.
Right, someone's heading south now. Stop moving. Who's walking back to Cherno?
Yeah, Matt, I'm kind of recording here at the moment.
I thought we wanted people.
Yeah, well, I don't want you I don't know, doing that. Okay, you guys can come over here. We'll loot cars and stuff. So grab some stuff, eat some cans of food and stuff like that. Okay, so you can see here he's grabbed a can, and now he's eating it. Is that a good? He's shoving it through his helmet visor. Nice. And now he's pooped out a can, an empty can. See, he's pooped that out. I'll take that for later. Okay, okay, guys. Let's go up and check out some more of these cars. What the heck's the wave key?
You have to bind it to salute.
Oh, right. Okay. Can someone do vaulting? Maybe over something would be good.
Just ask him to die.
And I vaulted into a bush. Parkour! Yeah, I'm not putting that in the video. You just sink through stuff. Jump over this pile of trash here. That's definitely hilarious enough to make it into the dev blog. Anyone else got anything else they think we should show off? Who's that on the back? Shoot something. Or just shoot at something, you don't need to shoot anyone.
do we grab AKs from?
I'm spawning them in.
Alright.
Who is the naked hobo with a helmet and shoes on?
That's me, I got killed in the car. Yep.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say about it that might make it into the
I
dev
think
blog
the-
to describe it? I'm
I think the new
recording.
inventory system is very useful for picking up things that are close to you. You may not even necessarily see them unless that's subject to change. But it's definitely very useful to picking up things in the vicinity.
Anyone else
I
got
definitely
anything
like
else?
how it's I definitely like how it's more towards your gear instead of just an inventory. So if you don't have any pants on or a jacket, then you're kind of screwed.
Any other points? You can be descriptive about it if you want. It's just I'm probably not going to show an image of it yet because we don't have the drag on and drop off function yet, where you can actually drag it on and drop it off the avatar. Like we've got the new.
I guess another thing is like the hotkey. The new hotkey bar is pretty useful. I like how it's not like an instant switch, but it makes it a lot more easier to grab something out of your gear.
Yeah, that's true. I guess to describe it, you could say, like you said previously, it's similar to the Minecraft way of selecting items, and it's definitely very useful and handy for quick accessibility.
Cool. Do you want to give maybe a brief explanation to people because I can't really show it to them at the moment? Yeah, you know, anyone give a brief go?
Okay, so you have items in your inventory, and then, like in Minecraft, you can drag them down onto a hotbar, if you like, and then you can, depending on which slot you put your item in, from like 1 to 9, you can then select that item simply by pressing either 1, 9, whatever, and then you can select that item much quicker rather than entering your inventory, moving things around as previously.
Awesome. And maybe we might get those of you with a mic to introduce yourselves as well for the dev blog.
I'm Christopher, also known as Lord Cake from subreddit r/DayZ.
Next, please.
Quantum AI, also a moderator on the subreddit.
Got a very big Reddit force here at the moment on the test server. Who else? Anyone?
And I'm Arachne, also known as PyroZoo, also a moderator on the subreddit.
Cool. And we appreciate you guys' help testing things out. Oh, Mikhail's waving. Somewhere. I don't know where Matt's gone.
I'm here. I'm Matt, and I work for Bohemia.
For now.
I was just going to say there's some very, very impressive images in art. Look forward to some of what we've seen here and some that are, for example, on Northwest and other towns. And yeah, I'm really enjoying the test version, or the beta alpha even.
Yeah, why don't we go for a little bit of a run around this? This really, I think, is really outstanding, and it's not even finished yet. And once we get the interiors in this, it's going to be quite amazing. I mean, to me, it really makes it feel like a big city, which is kind of one thing we really wanted out of Tuno.
I think just one thing to add on to that as well is this area is modelled off a real life area, and when you look at the images of the area compared to what it looks like, the resemblance is uncanny. It's almost one-to-one, even down to the placement of bins.
Yeah, and so one thing that we're doing with this area as well is we're starting to have loot spawning into the wrecks. At the moment it's reasonably basic, it's just kind of like clothing and beans and stuff like that, but this is an example of some of the interaction. These doors will actually be openable and closable, so you actually have to come up to it and open them and stuff like that. So the guys are just grabbing some more gear here. Where else
too
can we go
green.
in here?
Go show them the
Just
playground.
run down the main street.
Yeah, I'll follow you guys. Feel free to say stuff you like about it as we go, and or stuff that you're looking to see, that kind of stuff. So we've got the new skeleton coming in soon, which is going to be really good. So we've done a few tests of that, and it's really going to make a big change for the players as well as the zombies.
I really love the look of the trees. It might just be my settings, but they look really nice.
Yeah, I'm actually capturing on reasonably low settings at the moment, but our lead artist Mario, he did a lot of work with the trees to make them look fuller. We're actually playing with the grass at the moment as well.
Yeah.
You can't see it yet, but taking some inspiration from the Arma 3 grass. I'm a big fan of the motorcycle helmets. With our expanded health system, it's going to be awesome having motorbike helmets and different helmets protecting you from melee blows to the head and that. I mean, I'm just really excited about that.
Doesn't work with the helmet. Will the visor go up?
Pass? Don't know yet. We're probably going to have a lot of little bugs like that. That's sort of what, yeah, you know, we're going to start with like another one where the woman, when they wear the helmet, you can see their bun out the back, so, you know, in the hair.
Wonder if you could just force their model to be bald.
We could probably swap out their head, that's actually a good idea. Oh, some more loot here.
Beans.
Are there people eating and
Like how you
pooping
can
beans
put
here?
Items.
Say
You
again?
can put items into your hoodie and stuff like that.
Yeah, obviously the
Compatible with each other.
values aren't realistic at the moment, and we don't have the little container collapsible thing yet. I'm real keen on the trash idea as well. That when you eat out of something, you leave something behind, because that trash item's actually storing variables about you and can be used with dogs, and if we later on come up with a mechanism for fingerprints and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
So you can come across, like, you know, a campfire or whatever surrounded by stuff, and it's going to be the key of our crafting system. So soon you'll have to like cook food and on like a gas cooker, or combine a gas cooker with a gas canister, that kind of stuff. Oh, there's another helmet in here. Yeah, well, I probably don't want to drag on with it too much. I think we're just going to put together like a sort of 10-minute sort of thing. So thanks, guys, and we'll look forward to showing people more over the coming weeks.
Anytime.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So you've been doing some work on zombie pathfinding then.
Yep.
Could you tell us a little bit more about that then?
Sure. So the next segment coming up will be demonstrating some of the fixes that relate to zombie pathfinding. And like we discussed, Matt, this was one of the biggest areas for DayZ. Like, this is a really, really big problem in the mod, and that the zombies aren't they aren't threatening enough because they take so long to get to you. We had to increase the speed dramatically for them to catch up with you. So this was a real problem. So the focus with the zombie pathfinding was to get them moving better indoors, get them pathfinding better to follow players, and also to stop the zigzagging that we saw. So there were some serious bugs that we encountered and some issues that we had to solve while we were going through this. So I'll run those up now. Okay, so what we're seeing here is the testing of indoor pathfinding. And when we increased the speed of the zombies, what we found was the zombies would actually run through the terrain and run through geometry and all sorts of stuff. We had a real problem with that. This is the solution that we came up with. So you can see he moves fast, and then when he goes up the stairs, it's all okay. So we had a good amount of progress with that. This is a before shot of the pathfinding as it used to be in the mod, and you can see running around in circles here, like I'm sure you can see here, Matt. It's like you know, he's not following you at all.
No, he's trying to follow where you were.
Yeah, he's trying to, exactly. So the issue was it was reusing the path that it previously had, and it would often result in you zigzagging and the zombies, you know, running in these weird sort of conga lines behind you and things like that. So it really meant that the zombies weren't a threat, and the only way we were able to increase that, oh, and look, you know, he's even he even like totally couldn't figure out his route there. So yeah, the only way we could deal with that was by making them run insanely fast. So this was the challenge that we put to our programmers, was how we can solve that, and we managed to come up with a really good solution to how to solve the problem. We're pretty pleased. So this is the solution here, and the zombies attempt to make a very simple pathfinding decision to get straight to you. And you can see here running in the circle, Matt, like he's much closer, and he's able to follow you a lot better. So we feel this is going to make a huge...
So, are there any implications, side effects of this?
Yeah, well, you know, look, there's still a few things to work out with this, and in fact, you know, the one of the positive impacts of it, though, is actually increased performance. All these zombie pathfinding is actually going to be done server-side, so it does have quite a big impact on things. But you can see gameplay-wise, it has a dramatic impact, and that the zombies are a real threat, not because they run with some crazy athletic speed, but because they're actually, you know, quite threatening in their own right, which has, you know, been really pleasing for us. So just, we wanted to show a couple of images before we were going through to finish our dev blog off. And this is showing some of the workflow of one of our map designers, Senchi, who's been basing a lot of the areas off inspiration from real life. So this is a real life image of an area that he's been practicing modeling. And here you can see the in-game equivalent. So he's been working very carefully to try and get a real feel to the terrain and really continue what Tunerus was originally made. So really giving it that real heart and feel. And we think that's why you know, DayZ's been successful, and why DayZ Standalone is going to be successful. hello everyone and welcome to our dev blog reviewing the milestone that ended in July. So this milestone, the idea is to prepare and see if we can actually release a alpha based on this milestone, and the results were no. And so what I'm going to cover now, while we've got some gameplay going on in the background, is the reasons behind that. A little bit more detail will be put on the dev blog in terms of some words, but here's a breakdown. So the build is not ready for release, so we have now moved on to pushing forward to our next milestone and working on the issues that were presented with what we'd worked on in July. So I guess the biggest piece of work that's remaining for us is what we're calling the multiplayer network bubble. So what this means is that clients receive updates that are within the vicinity of them. At the moment in Arma, you receive updates from everything that occurs on the map. That works out very well for the Arma system, but it doesn't work out so well for DayZ, where we have hundreds of thousands of items and thousands of zombies on the map, and lots of players doing lots of complex little interactions. So what that means is, as the player's moving around, they're only getting the updates that are close to them. This gives us good performance games. It gives us a lot more security in terms of dealing with hacking and things like that, because there's limited data available to the clients. That has been programmed to be developed as of this sprint that's coming up for us now. So we'll have more report on the progress of that in the next dev blog. Another thing we've been working on is finalising the injury and infection system. So we had a rudimentary system already implemented, and based on testing for that, for both performance and functionality reasons, that's actually being redeveloped. We've got a new animation tree for injured players, which you will have seen in the little preview that occurred before and we're really excited about that. And I think that's another area of development that's going to carry on. But the aspects of this aren't going to block us from releasing the alpha, but we will be continuing with development on that and reporting in the next dev blog. Another area of development for us has been the attachment system and how that links in with our rifle that we've chosen, which is the M4. So we really want to finish all aspects of customization for the M4, all functionality to a high level of quality. This provides us a benchmark weapon against which we can implement all other weapons. The artists, some people might have seen on the forums, have been really busy coming up with lots of new styles of weapons and things like that. We're just focusing on the M4 now, and we're going to add in all the functionality for the suppressor, different sights, extended mags, all this kinds of stuff, so that we have this excellent benchmark. Custom animations, custom muzzle flashes, everything per weapon, so that we really make them shine. Because we think that weapons are your levels in DayZ, so they're very important, and we want them to really reflect that. A further area of work has been damage and bleeding. So the damage system is being reworked for both performance and functionality to accommodate the needs of DayZ. There's a new bleeding system, quite similar at the moment to the old system. However, it actually bleeds from the exact point that you're shot at and animates correctly. So we think that's quite a cool new addition. At the moment, it's not working correctly in the multiplayer dedicated server, so that's something that we do want to have finished before we can push the alpha out. The report on the progress of this will be in the next dev blog. One big area of development has been database and security metrics and things like that. So we're redeveloping the loot spawn system to be central server managed, and we're also preparing the database for a wide release. You know, it's got to handle a large number of players and connections. So that's receiving a significant area of development as well. Finally, I guess one of our biggest areas of development beyond all this is stability, and this has been greatly improved in the last weeks, and I'm sure those of you who've had a chance to talk to the people who've been testing, they will tell you the same thing. We've still got some way to go to accommodate the player levels that we feel is necessary for useful feedback, and I guess that's kind of the most important point to make in this development blog. Everybody really wants it to be released, and you know, we're really happy with how it's starting to look, but until we cover off on the very basic foundations of it, There's just nothing there to play. There's nothing there to really enjoy. We feel we're very close to that, but we want to take the time that's necessary to deliver on that. And that is obviously frustrating for everyone involved, both on the project team and as well as people wanting to play it. But really, without these things, it's just not possible. So we really appreciate people's patience with that. And I'll be posting more detail and text on the dev blog over the weekend as well, once I've had a chance to sleep. So we hope you enjoyed this little teaser, and we're going to finish off the development blog with some interviews with some of the staff so you can hear how things are going on. Thanks very much.
There's our beautiful new character model and the new skeleton with his orange striped t-shirt. So we've got the locals seem very friendly. So we'll run away from them and see if we can. There's a new jumping attack. So let's go into first person with our nice new shiny AK. So with Standalone, one of the big things that we've added is lots of new enterable buildings. So we'll go and see what we've got in this one then. There's two ways of picking up loot now. There's by looking at it, and we can take painkillers, or we can use the gear menu, and we can move around and just drag and drop. Come on, pick up the can. There we go. So, ooh, motorbike helmet. Let's have one of those. So as you can see, you know, we've got the new gear menu going around. Let's go and see what's in the next building then, chaps. So, and we have played around with some of the animations. So we've got small, normal moving, and we've got fast running. So there's our normal crouch, and we've got sprint crouch. Let's see if we can get. Oops. And then move into this one. So in this next building, we'll see what else what other loot there is, and show you the new crafting system. So we've got some jeans on the floor. Let's see if we can get to those. Great. Grey jeans. So yeah, I prefer grey jeans over blue jeans. Then we'll swap things over to those. So. Oh, oops, I put the grey ones on again. So the blue ones. There we go. So as you can see, we've got the new inventory system, and we've got two map sections, map of Northeast Chernarus and the map of Northwest Chernarus. So let's have a look what's on those maps. So as you can see, we're in Vybor, which has been reworked by Senshi and Ivan, our map designers. Run away. So, let's try that again. Let's have a look at combining those maps then. So as you can see, if something's craftable, it will turn orange, whereas if you're trying to mix things that aren't craftable, like a map and purification tablets, it'll turn red. So, let's put the maps together then. As you can see as well, we get a message on the left-hand side that says you've combined the maps. This is the way that we want to start giving players more intuitive feedback as to how their character's feeling. Are they feeling hungry, or are they thirsty, or have they just built something? So, what have we got in here? Got another book. Let's put the book in our canister, gas canister. And let's take the water bottle. And we'll move outside. See what else we've got that we can craft in our inventory. We'll just move those from the toolbar. Ooh, we've got purification tablets and dirty water. So let's mix those two and purify it. And I'm also feeling a bit thirsty, so we'll drink that then. As you can see, we've got new drinking animations. Also show some of our new gestures as well. So we've got surrender. So we'll just run back to where we were last time and explain the bug. Yeah. So as we can see, we've got zombies running inside of buildings. I'm just going back to where I was after our super fun bug. As you can see, things aren't always going to work how we want them to, and it's just going to be a slow process of fixing things as they come up, and as we add things. Ooh, he appears to be in the floor. So we can shoot while we're moving now, but you're less accurate. However, if you shoulder the rifle, you become more accurate, and obviously... And this is the thing that Dean added in the morning. You can get knocked down by zombies. It is a bit of a random chance. You don't really know when it's going to happen. And we'll see if we can show the getting shaken, say, getting knocked off balance gesture. See, there, our player just got knocked off balance. And again, we've turned zombie damage off for this build as well. So we're not dying every 30 seconds because, well, I'm a terrible DayZ player. I'm far too friendly. And we'll see what's in the shop. Off over. Oops. One thing as well, this is a single player build, just because it's exceptionally difficult to get the internet at conventions. So you can't really see our new client server architecture, which means that everything is processed on the server side. So hopefully that will reduce hacking and really, make the game much better from a player experience with more players on the map and that side of things. Ooh.
The issue of vehicles.
So the issue of vehicles. So vehicles aren't going to be in our initial release. This is because we want to go and totally redo them. We want to kind of, have vast amounts of vehicle customization. So you can take a door off one car and put it onto another one, and you can really, really customize them for your own personal being. And if we put them in now, it's just something that we're going to have to redo, and they won't be perfect. So we'd rather leave it and just redo them before they go in. Ooh.
That's a very good attitude to have.
Yeah. So let's try and find another building that is new. Got a school there. Ooh. I think this one. Yep, so this one is one of the new buildings as well, and we'll just run in here. Go upstairs. Oh, somebody followed me in. So as you can see, we've put vast amounts of buildings are enterable now. Ooh, magazine. So there's the amount of options that you can when you're running through Chernarus, and you can weave in and out of buildings. It really is a fantastic, it really is amazing to get away from those zombies. Ooh, Alice backpack. Ooh, nice. So let's.
Yeah, any sniper rifles we'll be able to find easily in this build, or do you have any cheat modes for that? Developer only cheat modes?
I would have. Ooh, I can maybe show you that afterwards because at the moment we've only got the AKs in this build, but we've got some other weapons in. So we've got a Ruger, an SKS, the Ruger 1022. We've also got a CZ pistol. We want to make a focus on civilian weaponry, so you can. It's much more plausible. You're not running. Everybody's running around with 50 caliber sniper rifles. Ooh. No, because it wasn't really plausible. Yeah, as you can see, we've got some more zombies out there, and see what else we've got. Ooh, here's another enterable building that's that is new for standalone. See, it's so homely with your nice little shed in the back garden and attic space. So the loot proxies for in-buildings are still being worked on, and we're adding more. We can change them around with different versions, so we can keep you guessing as to where to find loot. No, there's not much really exciting in that building then. Let's see what else we have. Going to the next one along the road then. Hop over the fence.
Ooh. Is that worth putting a few bullets into for pyrotechnic effect?
No, sadly not. That's a chicken coop.
What about the canister?
The canister. Oh no, they won't explode, sadly. For some reason, they're absolutely bulletproof. This is Soviet engineering at its finest. So, as you can see, let's see if we've got any loot underneath it. As you can see, we've got loot underneath the bed that will really make people, if you search and put the time in, you're more likely to find more. Oh, that look. I've got an EpiPen, so if I'm allergic to, I find a Nutella bar or I find something I'm allergic to, I'm